Professor Rohan Gunaratne, thank you very much. You are staying with us to discuss further updates today. We now move over to the Middle East, where in Saif al-Din Kamal Abdul Karim Musallat, a Palestinian-American from Tampa, Florida, was fatally beaten by Israeli settlers on Friday evening in the West Bank town of Sinjil, north of Ramallah. The 23-year-old died from his injuries after the attack, which also left several others wounded. The US State Department confirmed being aware of the incident, but declined to comment further out of respect for the victim's family. Musallat's relatives confirmed to the Washington Post that he was beaten to death by Israeli settlers. Israeli authorities said that they are investigating the incident, claiming it followed a confrontation that sparked by rocks thrown at Israelis. However, the exact details surrounding Musallat's death remain unclear. This attack highlights the growing violence by Israeli settlers in the West Bank, especially amid heightened tensions since Israel's military offensive in Gaza. The UN has condemned Israel's expansion of settlements in the West Bank as illegal under international law and called for a halt to the occupation. As the death toll in Gaza surpasses 57,000, Israel faces accusations of war crimes, though it insists its actions are in self-defense. The killing of Musallat serves as a painful reminder of the ongoing conflict's toll on innocent civilians and the need for an urgent, peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. Listen in to what resident of Al-Mazra al-Shakaria village who witnessed the incident had to say.
احنا المشكلة يعني الشاب كان متصاوب وقعد 4 ساعات متصاوب، الجيش ما خلانا ندخل عنده ولا حدا خلانا ندخل انطولة، ما وصلنا الشاب اللي هو صار يعني في رمق الأخير.
We're now joined by Professor Rohan Gunaratne to discuss this in further detail. Professor Gunaratne, this settler violence in the West Bank has been increasing since the start of the Gaza war in October of 2023. What can you tell us, if a bit more details, a bit more background about who the settlers are and what their objectives are in the region?
The settlers are the Jews, most of them the right-wing settlers. And this has become one of the key points of conflict and confrontation between the Israelis and the Palestinians. I only hope that there will be a resolution to this particular aspect of the conflict. So most recently we have seen that the violence has increased. And also most recently we have seen attacks against Israeli settlers. Some of them have been brazen, and I believe that Israeli forces are now working very closely with the Palestinian Security Authority in West Bank to contain that violence. So it is in the interest of all parties, the Palestinians, the Israelis, and the Palestinian Authority to ensure that there is no escalation, because Israel is already fighting a war in Gaza. So what is important is that these settlements are constrained, the activities of these settlers are very well regulated so that West Bank will also not descend to chaos.
Professor Gunaratne, there's accusations to the Israeli government that they actually support these settlers, that they're not doing enough to prevent this violence from happening. As we've said, the UN sees these settlements as illegal under international law. What do you think Israel's action should be, especially now an American citizen has been killed here? We've seen violence over the past few weeks. We've seen children killed in the past few weeks by these settlers. Is the IDF doing enough to control them?
IDF should regulate the settlers, because an escalation in West Bank will lead IDF to move its troops from Gaza and from Israel to West Bank. And that will make it very difficult for the IDF to secure the release of its hostages from Gaza. So also the international community is very concerned about the settlements of the Jews in West Bank. And I personally believe that it is an issue Israeli government should address so that eventually there will be a movement towards peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis.
Professor Rohan Gunaratne, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. Well, that is all.